I love hatchbacks, go-karts, and automotive design. If you've read the title of the video, then you know why and how all of this goes together. Recently, I have been drawing a bit more. One thing that I decided to draw one night was what I imagined my go-kart would look like as a car. And I came up with this. If you watch my video on the 3 racing games I've made, then you would know that I had been actively creating a racing game on Roblox a while back. One thing that I had to learn to be able to do that was to learn how to use Blender. I do not want to throw that skill away, so I decided to recreate that car as a drivable vehicle in Roblox. There are 3 things I will be using to create this car. To start off with, I have Blender. My car features many hard edges, so I think this will make design in Blender easier, as the car is very polygonal and not very smooth and fluid. The other thing I will be using is Roblox. I'll be testing my car in the maps I had made for the game a while back. And the last component is a chassis. A chassis is a custom chassis built for Roblox as an alternative to the normal way to make a car. It is arguably a lot better as it features gearing, horsepower, aspiration, and way more. To start off in Blender, I will get a blueprint for a normal car to make sure that my car is proportionally sound. I think that my car is pretty similar to the Fiat 500, so I'll be using that as the base. The Fiat 500 has been called a street-legal go-kart, so that does make sense that my car design is quite close in proportions. I have now finished modeling the car, and I'm quite pleased with it. It took me a good 2.5 hours to get to this point. The reason it took so long is because the first time through I was following way too closely to the Fiat base, and it looked nothing like my car, so halfway through I scrapped it. Anyways, I will import the car into Roblox and color it, as well as texture it, and put a chassis on it, and make it drivable. I have now successfully imported the car into Roblox and have properly colored it. I am pretty pleased with it, and I think it's pretty faithful to the original car. My favorite thing about the car is the name I created for it and I put on the back. I decided to call the car the Resilient Turbo Hatch, which I think is a pretty cool name for the car. The car is now finished and it drives pretty well. I think in the future I will create more cars and test them in a similar way to the channel considers Autopolitan events, where he takes cars he made in automation and races them. I am proud of the car and I think it looks a bit better than the picture with the stylized text on the side. I may create some tuned versions of it, like a rally car or possibly a drift car. Anyways, I will now test the car at the Garwood racetrack to get a benchmark for the future. So, the car ended up setting a time of 1 minute 23 seconds, .49. The car, despite being quite light at 1,000 kilos and having all-wheel drive, felt quite hefty and loved to slide. However, it did not quite have the power to pull out of the slide and was left kind of stranded. Anyways, overall, I'm quite pleased with the vehicle and find it fun to drive. If you enjoyed the video, then please support it. Thank you.